morning, members of ASEAN Federation of Accountants and member of Thailand Federation of Accounting Professions. Today, I would like to start the sessions on digital transformation, impact of AI on accounting professions. Start with Dr. Jarunee. Dr. Jarunee will have presentation on digital transformation. Dr. Jarunee.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wasini. And first of all, I would like to thank the ASEAN Federation of Accountants, AFA, the TFAC, the Global Body of Accountancy, AICPA, CIMA, and President Wonglimpiyarat, and also the Secretary General of the AFA. It's a great pleasure to be here and share with you experiences on the topic of digital transformation, the impact of AI on the profession. The slide, please. So what is artificial intelligence and generative AI? AI is the technology that trains the computer to function like a human brain, and it requires a human intelligence. The generative AI is a subset of AI, and it is used in the unsupervised machine learning. We can use the AI to generate a new content, a new model like images, audio, video. Accountants can use AI to help business manage huge volumes of data, and accountants can get insights from the data in order to incorporate in that insights into formation of the strategies. AI can also help improve efficiency and streamline the business operations. Next, please. This is the recent statistics. We can see that the AI industry market value is projected to reach $267 billion by the year 2027. And what about the projected AI contribution to the global economy? It is expected to reach $15.7 trillion by the year 2030. Next. According to the job report by the World Economic Forum, these are the top 10 skills for the future. And as accountants, we have to adjust ourselves, otherwise we cannot compete effectively. So you can see that the skills needed for the future is focused on the technology and innovation. Next. According to Professor Clayton Christensen, arguing about the disruptive technology, by using the disruptive technology, it means that it will offer the simpler and more affordable products or processes to the marketplace. And we can see the industry changes or the change in the industry structure in the future. Next. Now we have gone through many periods of the industrial revolutions. We have gone through the first quantitative wave from the Industrial Revolution, engendered by the key factor of cotton, followed by coal, steel, energy. And now we are in the fifth quantitative wave, driven by the key factor of chips. We are heading towards the sixth quantitative wave, which will happen in the 2030s to 2040s. It will be the age of the cybernetic revolution, with the key factor of economic development driven by computer, digital information technologies. Next. In order for the process of technology disruption to take place, three factors have to be present: the falling cost, unlimited availability of supply, and also the application in wide industries. Next. So what about the research at MIT Media Lab? Thanks to Professor Wesley Harris for the research support, we have done the research to understand the process of technological breakthroughs. This is the director of the Media Lab, the first director, Nicholas Negroponte, and the second director, Joichi Ito. emphasize the motto of demo or die and also deploy or die, which means that emphasizing the process of bringing technology out of the laboratories and making impacts to the marketplace. Next, please. We've done the research to understand the process of technological breakthroughs. At the Media Lab, they performed the data analytics to understand the process of AI, and AI development is trying to focus on how to use technology to empower the human experiences. And as we can see from the screen, there are many industrial revolutions caused by these technologies, like the iPhone, iPad, Kindle, the Lego Mindstorms, the Scratch, which is a programming language, the bioprinting organs, autonomous vehicles, and augmented reality solutions, which need the support of the 5G and 6G technologies. As you can see in the circle, the red circle is a focus on the big data and AI to fight the COVID pandemic. The Media Lab performed data analytics to understand the COVID pandemic in terms of the virus structure, the disease treatment, and also how to produce the vaccine or vaccine manufacturing. Next, please. What about the future of technology? Will technology displace accountants or not? Or we can see from this figure that there are many functions that have to change, are fully automatable, highly automatable, somewhat automatable, and very difficult to automate. We can see that functions like, the mundane functions like the general accounting operations, the cash disbursement, will be displaced by technologies like AI. But some areas like auditing, and in particular the business development, this is an opportunity for the future accountants. So the future of accountants will be focused on how we develop the business model innovation and how we can provide advisory services to support the process of decision making, give advice on the direction of the industry. And these are the functions that we need to understand to prepare ourselves. And the source is from the McKinsey report. Next, please. According to the report by McKinsey, AI can handle up 45% of the tasks typically performed by accountants. Next. It's delightful to see that the organization like the AICPA and CIMA has recognized the importance of digital skills and have added the digital skills into the CGMA competency framework. Next, please. What about AI impacts on the accounting profession? AI technology can help improve efficiency in bookkeeping and auditing. We can use AI technology to perform the bank reconciliations and prepare the tax returns. AI technology will help detect any irregularities, anomalies, and financial fraud in real time. AI technology can also enhance the data democratization because the small firms with scarce resources can get access to the resources in the same way like the large companies do. Next. What about technologies that we can use? We can see the AI-powered language model developed by OpenAI. Microsoft has invested more than 10,000 billion US dollars in ChatGPT developed by OpenAI. Currently, we have many tools in the marketplace like the ChatGPT 4, Google Bard, Bing AI to support accountants' decision-making. But please be careful. By using ChatGPT, it is like outsourcing. And be careful not to outsource the core competencies of the firm by using ChatGPT. Next, please. Accountants can use AI to evaluate the project investment, but we should not rely solely on the results of using AI technology. And there should be reconciliations between corporate strategy and the use of the financial models offered by AI technology. Next. We will see that the future decision-making will increasingly be based on the pre-programmed algorithms. Next. What about the changing role of accountants? These are examples of the research done at Imperial College, and thanks to Professor Mauricio Solo and Professor Livio Scalvini, we are conducting the research on sustainability. And we use the case study of Shell and Huawei because they are the outstanding firms in their respective industries. Shell is the leading firm in the oil and gas industry, and Huawei is the leading firm in the ICT sector. Next, please. We are conducting the research, training the machine learning algorithms to extract the annual sustainability reports in the past 10 years. Next. And then we interpret the research results by using the framework, the innovation life cycle framework, to understand whether these two companies have achieved the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Next. And we interpret the results, whether the company has achieved Sustainable Development Goals ranging from SDG 1 to SDG number 17. Next, please. Next. Yes. As you can see the comparison between the SDGs from 1 to 17. And for the accountants who work in the public sector, the accountants can also give advice in terms of the policy advice to the government agencies. Next. Next, please. According to the recent KPMG survey, there is a demand for talent in technology and innovation. And the future role of accountants will be more strategic. We can see that the role of accountants in the future will be the digital accountants. Next. And I would love to hear the views from the panelists and suggestions from the audience as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jarunee. Thank you very much. And interesting presentation. And I would like to go deeper into what you just presented here. You show top 10 skills for the future that we need for accountants, right? The audience, I can see not so clearly, but they are very young. So they're gonna stay with accounting profession for a long time. So in your top 10 skills, you talk about the difference between technology and innovation too. You list technology and innovation. Could you explain more about the difference between technology and innovation? And also, with the rise of advanced technology like the AI, what will be your suggestion to the firms, including accounting firms, how they adopt this technology and compete in the market?
Thank you. As you can see from the presentation, technology is something like the invention, and it may go up to the stage of prototyping but never reach the marketplace. But for the innovation, it has an underlying concept of commercialization. So what we can apply for the future accountancy, it means that we can use AI technology to support our decision-making process. But please be careful, because when we study the past innovations, technology can only render this, temporary competitive advantage. But finally, technology can be caught up. But what is more important is the right business model innovation to support and sustain the corporate strategies to achieve sustainable competitive advantage.
Thank you ค่ะ Next I have Dr. Karin Dr. Karin from K-Bank Dr. Karin from Dr. Jarunee presentation could you also add more on the difference between traditional AI and generative AI and how AI is changing banking industry
Yeah, thank you, Kap. I think to continue from Dr. Jarunee, I think for traditional AI, some people say it's a weak AI. Is a machines or a code that performs specific tasks given a specific set of input to perform specific tasks. But for generative AI, it means that you can create something new. Actually, if we're looking back since the invention of computer, the first set of AI is AI means speed or fast. Talk about computing. How can you compute faster? And then since the 90s, the AI means learning. We talk about machine learning. So we talk about optimization. And then next, since the year 2000, we talk that AI is about perceive. How can we have like a deep learnings, a different set of data, and then how can they think something different? And then now we have the AI is equal to create, the generative AI that can create a new contents based on the new set of data. So from fast to learn, to perceive, to create. I think these are the evolution of AI that we have seen. And then for banks, actually, when we think of a bank, the money in the bank is just data or numbers. So banks are the first adopters of many technologies, especially ITs. We are one of the first industry that adoption of mainframe computer. We talk about data processing, talk about data transfer. People may have heard about the SWIFT code, for example, that you do the money transfer between countries, something like that, or between banks. So banks are the typical users of new IT technologies. And then for the upcoming of generative AI, there are a lot of areas that banks can do. For example, it can be like supporting our relationship managers before the IMs or relationship managers get to see the client. In the past, before an IM get to see the client, they need to do a lot of analysis on the financial strength of the customers, financial health of the customers, the need of the customers. They may use about like 4 hours for preparations before they get to see the client and talk with the client for about another 1 or 2 hours. Now, with the upcoming of generative AI, they can have that AI to analyze the client needs, the financial situation of clients, and then instead of doing a lot of analysis themselves for the IM, they just ask the Gen AI to see what should be the, for example, like what should be the right product for these customers at this moment? What should we offer? What are their needs? What are their cash flows, for example? So it can help reduce the time at the back end before we meet the customers. There are another few things that are using many global banks. I just visit some global banks in Dublin, Ireland. And then they're saying that the first two, I would say 2 areas that they use and already use, the first one is for coding. Believe it or not, banks has a lot of IT people to do the coding. And then the Gen AI can help do the coding easier and faster. And for banking, the most challenging is that we have many legacy system or programming languages that many generations of the programmers have done. So how can we combine the different programming languages into the new set of programming languages? That's very difficult. But with the use of the Gen AI, we can have that easier because the Gen AI can read the old programming languages and then translate into the new programming languages. That is the first one that global bank have done. The second one is about more like about compliance. For banks, we are highly regulated, a lot of rules. And then many times our service managers cannot fully understand about the procedures for some tasks. For example, in Thailand, if there are some foreigners living in Thailand, not permanent resident, but would like to do some, or opening some bank account to do some money transfer in some currencies. What are the procedures? Now, this is very challenging for a branch manager to do that or to understand. They have to open a lot of documents to see what are the procedures of that. With the use of Gen AI, they can just ask and then they can process everything, all regulations, process, procedures, and then just tell the branch managers or the service managers what they should do, what are the documents they need or required. That help improve, I would say, the accuracies of the process, something like that. So there are a lot of opportunities that at the end, it's just the tools to empower the banks to service the customer better, faster, and easier. Just that. Thank you.
So AI helps banking industry a lot. And I would like to hear from Ms. Rasmimi on AI in accounting professions. How we use AI in accounting professions based on your experience.
Thanks, Dr. Wasini. So first, quickly, maybe a bit of data. So based on the 2022 MIA Technology Survey, when we asked the accounting profession in Malaysia, 32% of them said that they have occasionally or frequently used AI compared to only 13% in 2019. So there's a big jump in terms of accounting profession using AI in Malaysia. Interestingly, when we asked the public practitioners in terms of the technology that they're going to use, AI came third after cloud applications and data analytics tools. So you can really see the accounting profession is progressing. Now, we want to understand how AI is used in the accounting profession. We need to understand AI has three main strengths. The first one, it can process large data volumes. Second, it can pick up complex and changing patterns. And third, it is consistent. It can apply the same rules again and again for many, many times. So maybe quickly have a look at some of the examples. If you look at invoice processing, in AI, how they're going to process it, they just scan the document, they pick up the relevant data from that document, and then they tabulate in terms of debit credit of the transaction. Compared to traditionally where you will get your accounting executive to key in the data into the computer and then do the debit and credit and post it to the general ledger. Another example would be in terms of audit where you do your analytical review to see the patterns, understand do the ratio analysis. You also then, the traditional auditor will then do sampling in order to, walk through whether the transaction has been done accordingly. But in AI, all this will be done by AI, and they will just pop up the abnormalities. So the auditor will just need to investigate what are these abnormalities and have that discussion with the audit client. So I stop there. Thank you.
Okay, so we hear from banking industry, from accounting professions. So back to Dr. Jarunee. So right now, can we conclude that we have AI revolution right now? And can you justify that right now is AI revolution?
It's quite an interesting question, Dr. Wasini. How to justify whether we have reached the process of AI revolution? We can think about the research, and based on the research done by Professor Freeman and Perez about the techno-economic paradigm, in order for the process of technology disruption to take place, three factors have to be present. Firstly, the fall in cost. When we apply to the case of AI revolution, AI technology, the components to support this technology has fallen dramatically. For the second factor, the unlimited availability of supply, we have not reached this criteria because in order for the AI to generate and have the practical use, we need to rely on the supply of data. But not all the data are readily available like the medical records due to the privacy concerns. And the third factor, the application in the vast majority of industries. Yes, AI can be applied in the vast majority of applications, like the education, the energy, and many areas. So we have not yet reached the stage of AI revolution, but we will see it will taking place soon.
Very soon. Soon. Yeah, soon we will see. So ASEAN Federation of Accountants has funded a research. The research is on the adoption the technology adoption by the accountancy profession in ASEAN countries. So I would like Dr. Rosanand to talk about this research and what is the level of competency that our members have right now to prepare for the change.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Vasini. Before I answer your question, we saw the relevant issues and experiences raised by the panelists just now. And it is on those grounds that we at the universities and also researchers at ASEAN Accounting Education Workgroup, we felt that as well. And that is basically our research problem that we investigate. And among the basic questions, we find that competency is an issue. Awareness is also an issue. It's not like when we approach the respondents, and our respondents, they come from the accounting schools, and they come from the accounting practitioners, and also the professional accounting organizations of 10 jurisdictions. That means 10 countries in ASEAN that we cover. So what we found is that there is a gap between awareness and also the competency. And there's much work that needs to be done. I mean, if we look at what the AI, what technology, and all these basically vehicles that will facilitate our work, we find that behind closed doors are basically the people who have actually programmed and enabled. And this is where the universities come in, because remember, we all came from the colleges, from the universities, and we are here now. And what happened is that at the university, we are now attempting very hard to ensure that they will be able to perform and deliver when they join the workforce. And therefore, answer to the question is that yes, there is that gap between competency and awareness, even knowledge. And what we can observe is basically for my personal experience, it's trial and error, isn't it? We go to AI, somebody shares with us the link, and then we try it. And we discover that you must get the right prompt in order to get your answers. And that we learn through our experience, our mistakes. So live examples would be all of us. And this is where our research attempts to provide the status in terms of level of awareness, competency. There's also cultural readiness. And most importantly, cost. Because we find that with the SMEs especially, they are not willing to invest, and the preference is with learning through friends, through colleagues, through a short training, and also the YouTube. Thank you.
Okay. Now we know that we heard that AI can help us with many things. I heard that AI can help prepare bank reconciliation, can help with preparing tax return. So I would like to hear from Ms. Rasmimi. Will AI replace our accounting professions? That's maybe the most important question that the audience would like to hear too.
Thank you, Dr. Wasini. I think to a certain extent, Dr. Jarunee's presentation has answered that question. But maybe I just add a little bit more. First, maybe we look at whether AI will replace humans. So the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report 23 says a few things. The first one, AI will be a net job creator in the next 5 years. The second one is AI and big data will be #1 skills required by big organizations. So meaning accountants who are working in big organizations must have AI and big data skills. And third, businesses are becoming more skeptical in terms of AI will be will automate the whole thing. So they think that some simple decision making and information gathering can be dealt by AI, can be done by AI, but things like leadership and imagination skills will be largely unaffected by AI. So how about accountants? I think from Dr. Jarunee's presentation as well as a number of studies, it has been suggested that automation and AI will not replace accountants, but it will change the nature of work. So the work that accountants do now will be very different from what the accountants will do in the next few years, right? If I can give an example, I think if you, for audit manager, you will need to have 5 years experience in order to be an audit manager. But with AI, I don't think that you need 5 years to be an audit manager. Perhaps a 2-year experience audit senior will be doing what the audit manager is doing now. So you can see that the profession become very progressive. And I just want to emphasize that accountants will focus more on strategic role, such as providing advice to their organization, advice to their clients as well. Thank you.
So to our relief, we will not be replaced by AI, but we have to change our roles. So back to Dr. Jarunee, you presented that we have to change our roles as an accountant, and you also mentioned about Huawei and Shell. So from that case, could you extend the case and also explain how can we change our roles to stay in this AI technology things?
Yes. For the cases of Huawei and Shell, we are challenged by the 2 recent standards by ISSB, IFRS S1, their sustainability disclosures, and also IFRS S2, the climate-related disclosure. We are related and we are challenged by these 2 standards in order to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And we can use AI technology to extract the sustainability reports and provide the sustainability reporting. But please be careful when we invest in technology, because when we invest in technology and we rely on technology to make the decision making, as accountants, we can use AI technology to evaluate the project investment. And the AI technology will come up with the solutions based on the financial models. But sometimes there should be reconciliations between the research manager and, the way that the accountants will make the judgments. We cannot rely solely on the use of AI technology, because today investment has linkages with the future competitiveness. Even though the AI would offer solutions that we should not invest in these projects because the negative returns or the project returns is quite low. We will see that many technology companies still making investment even though the returns are quite low, because there are strategic visions behind that.
Thank you. Now next to Dr. Nanny. Dr. Nanny, would you like to add more on the steps that is necessary for us to live in this changing world?
Thank you. Well, I think we already agreed, and there is a technology development, and we also agree that this technology development will not replacing the accounting profession. But our research also showed that there is a gap there. There is a gap on the awareness and the competency that we already have in the accounting profession. Yeah. So I think we need to set up like the level of gap that is acceptable for the accounting profession, because I'm sure that we cannot catch up the technology development day by day. So at certain level, we have to agree what level of gap that is acceptable for the accounting profession. Then for that, we need to have like a roadmap, to fill in the gap that we have at this moment, and also for the future. And therefore, this roadmap is important to be discussed not only at the accounting
those in the business, but also all the accounting profession that also covering the accounting school. We know that the competency gap between the accounting professional and at the accounting school, it's also exists. We at the university try very hard also to catch up with this technology adoption, but still there is also a gap with the technology adoption in the business, in the practice. So we are not expecting, of course, our graduates to be far behind with their competency that is expected by the profession. Therefore, I think we need to have like a collaboration together, the profession, the accounting and practice, university, and also the government, to ensure that not only we are maintaining the accounting sectors, but also thinking about our young generation graduated from the accounting school. So the roadmap is becoming something important for us to set up, and let's do together to fill in this roadmap, and also to ensure that our profession is catch up with this technology development in terms of those already in practice, and also for the newly graduates of accounting profession. Thank you.
So I would like to ask furthermore on, you talk about like schools, accounting schools, that we have to prepare our students. Should we add more knowledge here into the curriculum, and how can we add this knowledge into the curriculum that we have?
Yes, thank you. Our research showed that at this moment, only 14% of the universities in ASEAN countries has incorporated technology, up to 70% of this technology development into their curriculum. But the other 86% is below that percentage. Meaning that, yes, a lot of things to do at the university to catch up this, So the lag is also coming from, to be honest, us as the lecturer. Many of the lecturers are graduated with the curriculum that have not technology inside the curriculum. But currently with this development, with this changing situation, I think we need to change the curriculum. 14% universities already there with this 70%. But the other 86%, yes, we have to run faster, perhaps. But we also trying to see how we are going to incorporate that technology itself into our curriculum. Some universities have already some modules that consist of technology itself, but many are incorporate this technology into the module and courses that already exist. So I think in the future we need to give more credits on technology, and we have to maybe like shrink our credit for the core and technical accounting issues. And for that, we also at this moment is working together and get help from the other faculty, especially the faculty of technology. So in the future, maybe we need to increase our collaboration to accelerate this technology adoption at the university, not only with those accountants in practice, but also with the other faculty that focusing on technology development. Thank you.
Thank you for the good advice. So for accounting professors, we cannot just talk to ourselves. We have to talk to other schools too. And in your research, back to the research, you point out that there are two challenges in adoption of technology in ASEAN community. The first one is on high investment costs, and another one is on cultural readiness. I would like to ask Dr. Karin. Dr. Karin is from K-Bank. Okay? K-Bank has more than 24 million clients on their platform. And K-Bank just win ASEAN Innovation Business Platform and also ASEAN Technology Excellence Award. So K-Bank is really good example of the organization that can adopt technology very well. So I would like to hear from Dr. Karin about how K-Bank overcomes these challenges, high investment costs and cultural readiness.
Thank you. Thank you. For K-Bank, I think, thank you so much for your kind words. For K-Bank, I think for the high investment cost, the digital technology is always expensive, trust me. But how can we do it better? I think there are two things on that to solve or to get it better is that we need to aim for continuous improvement instead of waiting for many years and then do a big transformations, waiting for many years, do a big transformation. That will cost a lot. And many times when you do a big transformations or technologies, what happens is that it will last for the transformation, will last for maybe 3 years, 4 years. And once it's done, that technology that we just implemented has been obsolete. So we need to aim for a continuous gradual change of more like a modular kind of things that we can improve point by point. The second one is about the structure. Organization structure is very important. For us, we have set up what we call the KBTG or Kasikornbank Business Technology Group, separated from the bank. And then inside that, there are many ingredients there. We have KX, VC, or venture capitals, with the funding now about like $100 million, just for investing in those AI technologies. Why? Because we know that if we want to know what happens in the startup communities, what we want to know about the new technologies that's about to emerge, we have to have an arms to talk with them, to invest in those technologies in the early stage and to know about it. Second, under the KBTG, we have what we call the K-Labs that actually join force with the MIT Media Labs and then announce many collaboration together earlier. Why? Because we wanted to get to have a network of knowledge with top research universities. Once we have those knowledge, we can have or we can select the right technologies, the right vendors. Many times, the high cost of IT is not about the IT itself. It's the cost of trial and error. Implement it and then redo it again. Those costs is very high. That's why we need to have our VC arms, our labs, and many other components such that we can know what is the right technologies for us. I think these are the two things on continuous improvement and the structure. Secondly, on cultural readiness, that's very challenging. And then we are banks, and many of our employees are bankers. So how can we make sure that they are all ready? There are three things under that. The first one is that we have to revamp our HR process, starting from talent acquisitions, onboarding, performance management, and training. Now, every year, our top senior executive, like our CEOs, our presidents, have to travel to the US every year just for recruitment, the top talent from the top universities. You see how that has been changed for the last few years. And then second is that we need to build a new mindset. In our bank, we call the challenger bank mindset. Challenger bank mindset meaning that we are traditional existing bank focusing on the liabilities, services, but we want to make sure that we have another mindset altogether, which is the mindset of a neo-bank or digital bank that have the new technologies to service new set of customers, new group of customers. So the challenger bank mindset in our bank is that we combine the traditional banking mindset with the neo-bank or digital bank mindset. And lastly, we have to create the reinforcement cycle for those tech talent that we have recruited. How can we make sure that we tell them how important their work is and how or what technology we want to do? Second, not just about telling them, we have to show them that our senior management, our employees everywhere will use it. We show them that it's worth using. And lastly, we have to let them do it. Let the tech people develop the new things themselves. Let the bankers use the new tools themselves. So this kind of reinforcement cycle that we tell them the reason, we show them that we do it. Senior management do it. And lastly, we let them do it. These are the reinforcement cycle that can maximize the use of the new technologies. Yeah, thank you.
So we heard that you went to the US to recruit the talent. So back to Dr. Rosenens, how can we produce our students, our graduates, so K-Bank can recruit our graduates to join them?
Yeah, perhaps you'd like to do an assessment of current status, what is insufficient in terms of skills, knowledge, even experience maybe, the qualities of the graduates that you want. And of course, we try to promote our own locals. And this is where perhaps you can let us know, share with us what is basically lacking in the local graduates that you have employed. So in that way, we can improve. And perhaps even you can have a K-Bank Academy, K-Bank University, for example. And we've heard of various organizations where they have a university affiliated or attached. I remember Deloitte, we used to have Deloitte University. And even in Malaysia, we have Uniten, that is for our energy organization. And then we also have our telecommunication, the university also. But even with the universities and with the organizations coming together, and we do have board of studies coming from the industry, it seems like it's still not good enough. So there must be that call to action. It's always easier said than done. And, you know, let us sit down and really look at how we can strategize so that we can bring in those impactful outcomes.
So collaborations from
Yes.
the practitioner, from the user of the graduates. And I believe that K-Bank is more than willing to help with helping with our curriculum too. Okay. Before we go to the final thoughts, I would like to open for Q&A questions from the audience here and maybe the audience online. If I'm not sure how the questions may show up here on the screen, or if the audience here have any questions, you can also raise your hand. We have times for maybe several questions here. Any questions to our panelists? Or it's about time for lunch? Okay, if not, then I would like to continue for the final thoughts on this topic. Okay, I would like to start from Dr. Rosenens on what the game change would you recommend in the view of coping with emerging technologies?
It starts from us. I mean, with AI, who developed AI? It's the people, and it's us. Just that we are in different profession. So this is where again collaboration, and we are the ones actually putting out our own profession because of the questions, issues, challenges raised by Dr. Jarunee just now. And then we saw the success with K-Bank and how they can actually accommodate and manage 24 million clients and outsourcing, as in you went out to recruit and come back. So this is where we need to look at from our own. I just came from a conference recently, and we were talking about all accounting and various components of accounting, and what actually highlighted was that character building. So with character building, it's about us, the individual. What are we doing with the profession, to the profession? So this is where we might, I know that we were talking about technology development will not replace the accounting profession, but come to think of it, it will if we do not do something about it. Thank you.
Okay. Rasmimi and Dr. Nanny, I would like you to comment on what should be done to prepare accounting professions for the change. You can give suggestion to academics or practitioner or PAOs.
Okay, thank you. I think I would like to suggest a long life learning, because this development is such that make us cannot stop. We mentioned from our research, there are some people in our profession, it's still like a standstill with the Excel spreadsheet competencies. But we know from our discussion this morning, AI is such powerful, can help the accounting profession with better information provided and make a better decision making for the user of the information that we provided. So if we are not catching up with this, then we will be left behind. So let's together, we keep our learning process. No need to see how old we are. No need to see how many years we have to go. So that's my invitation and suggestion. Thank you.
So for me, I think this is where, of course, knowledge about the various technological trends, how AI works are important. But I think human qualities become very, very important. Things like your communication skills, storytelling, your critical thinking, judgment. So all these become very important, and maybe the way how we are stealing these skills into students and accountants may need to be looked at. And finally, I want to talk about trust. I think the base of the accounting profession is really trust, and we want to keep that way. So meaning whenever accountants speak, they are the one that people will trust in the room. Thank you.
Now, with Dr. Jarunee and Dr. Karin, I would like you to conclude on how AI can help accounting professions or can help business to create values to their customer and to their stakeholders.
Yeah, for me, I think the top question is that we should have, similar to the question itself, the objective is to create values to customers and all the stakeholders. I think that we set the right objective. Then for accountants or for any functions or any managers, I think there are just two roles of us. The first role is performing, and the second role is transforming. For example, for accountant on performing, how can we use new technologies, the AI, such that we can do things easier and faster, cheaper? That is performing. We need to have that role. The second one, and maybe more important, is about transforming. How can we make sure that the new technologies can help us get a new opportunity? For example, like the financial forecasting that is better, more accuracy. Transforming on the way that the finance function or the accounting functions can help the organization manage the risk or the fraud preventions. Those kind of things that I think every day we need to ask ourselves about performing and transforming. How can we make it better? Yeah.
Dr. Jarunee.
Thanks for Dr. Karin's viewpoint. I think it's the same as every industry that we have to adjust ourselves. And I agree completely with Professor Dr. Nanny Dewi Tanzil, emphasizing that the students have to make some reskilling, upskilling, in order to offer the value-added services to the customers. And also, we need to be careful that the professional skepticism is important. So the accountancy means to gain the public trust
Thank you. And now before we finish, we have a question from online audience. Okay, the question is, how can we keep the use of AI ethically? Okay, I'm not sure which one can help with this. Maybe Dr. Karin with using AI a lot in K-Bank.
Yeah, that is one of the top questions on how to implement it. I think when we say the use of AI ethically, the question explains the answer itself, that there has to be someone responsible for the use of AI first. So to make it ethical, it means that there has to be someone responsible for that. Similar to an airplane, you have a pilot, the main pilot, and a co-pilot. Now, the tools of Microsoft is a co-pilot as well for the Gen AI. So it means that you are still responsible. You are the main pilot. You can use the co-pilot or the program to help you. The one who justifies the ethical or unethical behavior or answer or uses is the main pilot. So the first starting point is that we have to know that who is accountable for that use. Then that person has to train the AI. There are many ways to train, and then I think the new emerging technologies for the past few months, you can set different new rules to make sure that they know what the definitions of practical and ethical way of work is for your organizations. You can train it as well. But the first starting point is you have to have a person or a department accountable for that before we use it.
Okay. Anyone would like to add on this topic? Dr. Jarunee.
Yes, for AI ethical, whether it is ethical or not, I would recommend that we use AI sensibly in terms of understanding the role of accountants, that we need to have the professional skepticism. And I agree completely with Dr. Karin that we need the regulators to catch up with the trend of technology.
Okay. Thank you very much for all the panelists. And now I think we know that we can increase our awareness and also improve our competence. And this conference is a good starting point for us. Thank you very much for all the audience, and big round of applause for our panelists. Thank you very much. Thank you.